You're listening to 5-episode thriller. Dare to like this episode and subscribe if you hunger for more. Now, let the shadows begin to stir. Episode 2, The Vote. The island woke slowly, draped in a sheet of early morning mist, soft and silent. The birds weren't singing. Even the wind had quieted. Harper sat cross-legged on the veranda outside her room, eyes fixed on the jungle. Every rustle in the leaves sounded suspicious now. Even nature had started to feel like a trap. She hadn't slept again. None of them had, she suspected. After last night's reading, the villa was full of closed doors and whispering hallways. No one came to breakfast. No fresh coconuts this time. No coffee service. Not even Kiran. Just the memory of those cards and the searing truth they held. One of them had slept with Marcus. That secret had become a weapon, and now they had to choose who to blame for it. The bowl reappeared at noon, placed at the center of the dinner table as if by invisible hands. A new envelope sat beside it. This time, the wax seal was blue. Harper opened it slowly, fingers trembling. Today you will vote. Cast your answer in silence. The person with the most votes will be taken for a private session. If no one receives a majority, all will participate. Lying is not advised. There was no signature. Just the wax symbol again. The palm trees curved into a circle. She thought of the word session, cold, clinical, calculated. The others trickled in one by one. Tanya was first, tight-lipped, her shoulders squared like she was going into battle. Sophie came next, her eyes shadowed and red-rimmed. Mira followed, jaw clenched, hair unbrushed. Liz came last, her perfume strong enough to mask whatever fear she felt. No one spoke as they sat. Harper looked at the small slips of paper provided beside the bowl. 5 squares, 1 name each. A simple process, except there was nothing simple about it. Tanya picked up her pen first. She scrawled a name, folded it with precision, and dropped it into the bowl. One by one, they followed. No eye contact, no hesitation. Harper was last. Her hand hovered over the page. Her thoughts raced. Mira had always been impulsive, flirtatious, the kind of woman who flirted out of boredom and apologized with champagne. But was she disloyal? Tanya. Hard to read. Loyal, perhaps, but only to herself. Harper remembered a time in school when Tanya had let another girl take the fall for a prank she'd masterminded. Cold. Calculating. Protective of her own reputation. Liz, poised, proud, and venomous when crossed. The type who'd seduce someone just to prove she could. Harper had always loved her and feared her in equal measure. And Sophie, sweet Sophie, quiet, observant. Too clever by half. She'd always hidden knives behind that gentle gaze. Harper's heart pounded. One of them had betrayed her. The others had already made their decisions. She was about to cast hers. She wrote, Liz. The votes were collected. Kiran appeared then as if summoned by the wind, dressed the same, face expressionless. She took the bowl, gave a single nod, and opened the slips. Liz, she said. Mira. Liz. Liz. She paused. She looked up. 3 for Liz. Majority reached. Liz leaned back, crossing her arms. This is ridiculous. A witch hunt. You'll come with me, Kiran said simply. Liz didn't move. I'm not doing this, she said. This is psychological torture. I want a boat, a phone, a way off this island. Kiran's face didn't change. Departure is only permitted when the circle is complete. What does that even mean? Liz snapped. You're not God. You can't trap us here. And then she turned to Harper. You did this. You're letting this happen. Harper opened her mouth, but no words came. Liz stood, knocked her chair back, and stormed away. Kiran followed. No one else moved. A wind stirred the palm leaves above them. The silence that followed stretched on for hours. It wasn't until dusk that Liz reappeared. She walked out of the jungle path alone, barefoot, her hair tangled and wet. She didn't speak. She went straight to her room and closed the door. Harper tried to knock once, but there was no answer, no movement. She gave up. Later that night, a new envelope appeared. No one saw it arrive. Challenge 2. A memory must be unearthed. At sunrise, you will each tell the story of the last time you lied to one another. Full truth required. Half-truths are punishable. Underneath, the handwriting had changed. Smaller. Less precise. Only one of you knows what really happened in the chapel. Let's see if she remembers now. Harper's stomach flipped. The chapel. She hadn't thought about that place in years. They'd all been there that night. 16, drunk on stolen champagne and adolescent rage. It was the night everything fell apart. The night one of them had screamed and another had run, and someone else had been found days later, sobbing in the library. They never talked about it after. Too much shame, too much fear. But someone had remembered. Someone had built this island into a theater for revenge. That night, Harper dreamed of the chapel. Candles flickering in the dark, the smell of dust and rotting hymnals, Sophie's face pale in the moonlight, Liz's laugh echoing behind her, Mira whispering, "Don't tell." When she woke, her hands were shaking. At breakfast, the air was thick with tension. No one ate. Liz didn't come out. Harper considered checking on her again, but part of her was afraid. Tanya broke the silence. "I remember the chapel," she said. Harper looked at her. "What happened?" Tanya took a long breath. "I think it was about Harper," she said. "I think someone was jealous." "Of what?" Mira asked. "Everything," Tanya replied. "Back then, Harper was the golden one, head girl, everyone's favorite, and someone hated her for it." Harper stared. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying," Tanya said slowly, "someone set you up." There was a silence. Then Sophie from across the table whispered, "It was a dare." All eyes turned to her. "That night, we dared someone to do something awful," Sophie said. "We thought it was funny, but it wasn't." Her voice cracked, and when the headmistress found out, Harper took the blame. She thought she'd done something wrong, but it wasn't her. "Who was it?" Harper demanded. Sophie looked down. "I don't know, I didn't see, but I think Liz knew." They sat in silence. Liz's door remained closed. That night, another envelope appeared. Red seal this time. "One among you remembers too late. Tomorrow she will pay the price." The next morning, Liz was gone. Not in her bed. Not on the beach. Not by the cliffs. Gone. A single white card lay on her pillow. "The first stone has been thrown." Harper stared at it, heart hammering. They weren't playing a game anymore. Someone wanted justice, or vengeance. And the circle was only just beginning to close. The rain began just after sunrise, thick and sudden, falling in warm sheets over the island like a shroud. Harper stood at the edge of the villa's second-floor balcony, her hands clutching the railing, staring at the empty trail that led into the trees. Liz's absence pulsed like a bruise across their reality. No one had seen her leave. No footsteps in the sand. No suitcase missing. No staff to report it to. Just the cryptic card on her bed and the deepening dread in Harper's gut. Tanya appeared behind her, silent as ever, holding 2 mugs of black coffee. She passed one without speaking, and they stood there for a while, shoulder to shoulder, drinking in the rain and the silence. "She's not just gone," Harper said eventually. "Something's happened." "I know," Tanya replied, "but what do we do?" "I don't know." The truth clung to Harper's throat like ash. "I don't even know who's in control anymore." Tanya didn't answer. They both knew the truth. The island was in control now. By noon, the rain had stopped. A new envelope appeared in the center of the dining table. This one sealed with black wax. "You are now 4, one step closer to the center. The next trial begins now." Trial 3. Deliver a confession. Out loud, on camera. The most complete confession receives an advantage. The least truthful, consequence. Beneath it was a small black camera, compact and silent, already recording. Sophie reached for it first, her hands trembling. "No," Mira said, her voice sharper than usual. "We're not doing this. We're not dancing for whoever's watching us." "Someone already disappeared," Frère Ficule. Sophie whispered. "If we don't play, what happens next?" "I don't care." Mira stood, stepping back from the table. "I didn't sign up for this. I'm not confessing to a camera like it's some reality show. I want answers." Tanya spoke then. "We all do, but I think this is the only way we'll get them." So they recorded. One by one, each woman took the camera to a private spot, somewhere on the property that felt safe, or at least isolated enough to fake the feeling. Harper chose the hammock where she'd first talked to Tanya. She pressed the button. The red light blinked. She spoke. "I once let someone believe I didn't love them back. I was scared of what it would mean to love a woman, and she left because of it. She moved to Berlin, and I never saw her again." She paused, then added, "Her name was Josephine." Then she stopped the recording and left the camera under the hammock. Let the next person find it. Later that evening, they gathered again at the central pavilion. The black envelope was back. The note inside was different this time, less structured, messier. "Only 2 of you told the truth. One of you said too much, the other said too little. The one who said too much will receive no food or drink for 24 hours. The one who said too little will sleep outside tonight. The truthful two rest well. The game is watching. They stared at one another. No names. No directions. Just consequences. I'm not sleeping outside, Mira snapped. It might not be you, Sophie said cautiously. Oh, please, Mira growled. I've told the truth more than any of you. I didn't say anything about Marcus in my video, Tanya admitted, voice cold and controlled. Maybe I should have. So it's you then, Mira said. You'll sleep under the trees while the rest of us get blankets. I'll sleep outside, Tanya said without emotion. But if I do, you better hope I'm still here in the morning. And she left. That night, a storm rolled in again. Thunder growled low over the water. The villa's lights flickered once, then held. Harper paced in her room, haunted by the image of Tanya curled under the canopy trees, wrapped in nothing but silence and shadow. She didn't deserve this. None of them did. At some point near midnight, Harper couldn't stand it anymore. She took a flashlight and crept out into the jungle path. Raindrops fell in soft bursts from the treetops. The undergrowth smelled wet and wild. Tanya, she whispered, nothing. The beam of light swept over branches, stones, leaves. Then, movement. A figure sitting cross-legged under the pavilion, shivering slightly. Tanya, Harper said, rushing forward. Come inside. Screw the rules. Tanya looked up. Her face was pale, her eyes rimmed in red. They left something, she whispered. What? Tanya held up a small box. It was wrapped in silk, tied with twine. Harper took it from her and slowly undid the knot. Inside, a single photograph, the 5 of them, aged 16, standing in front of the chapel in their school uniforms, arms around each other, and behind them, barely visible in the window, a shadow. Who is that? Harper asked, breath catching. I don't know, Tanya said, but someone wanted us to see it. Harper turned the photo over. On the back, scrawled in ink, the chapel wasn't empty. They returned to the villa in silence. By morning, the photo had vanished from the box. Sophie and Mira were waiting by the pool, tense and pale. It's not just a game, Sophie said. It's not even just revenge. What do you mean? Mira asked. I think, Sophie said, slowly, we're being prepared for something. The word hung in the air, prepared, as if this entire experience was a prelude, a ritual, a shaping, like the island was forging them, not punishing them. That thought was somehow more terrifying than vengeance. At noon, a scream echoed from the north side of the island. Harper ran toward it, her heart thudding against her ribs. She burst through a curtain of vines and found Sophie, barefoot, standing at the edge of the old well. She pointed. Inside the well, someone had lowered a mirror. It hung from a thin rope, spinning slowly in the dark, reflecting fragments of sunlight. But when it turned toward them, Harper froze. Because there, just behind their own reflections, was another face, half seen, mouth open, watching. Not Liz, not any of them. They ran. Back to the villa, back to the only walls that felt even halfway real. But safety was a ghost here, and it had stopped visiting long ago. That night, another envelope arrived. This one was blank. Inside, only 2 words, remember her. And for the first time, Harper allowed herself to say it aloud. Clara, the girl who'd been expelled. That. The one none of them had seen again. The one who cried in the chapel, whispering, I didn't do anything, over and over while the rest of them ran. The one they had forgotten. Until now. End of episode 2. If this tale left you uneasy, give it a like. Share it with someone brave enough to listen alone. And subscribe to 5-episode Thriller. Your next nightmare is creeping closer.